But it's that realization that you're not supposed to run. Will not the day of the Lord be darkness, not light, pitch dark, without a ray of brightness? Now, darkness is not just a literal darkness, although it may be. For the people in Smallville, it wasn't that it was always during that time complete darkness, although that episode did start in complete darkness. He woke up in a coffin. It could be the complete sensory deprivation of not having any light whatsoever. The darkness of being lost and not being able to find your way out. The great thing about these Smallville episodes is you know that they've come back because at the end, it's all bright. All the lighting is up. Everything is crisp. All the reds and blues are in perfect harmony. But darkness can also occur as isolation, being separated from one another. We who are a people who strive for human contact. We are a people who strive for interaction with one another. C.S. Lewis describes hell in one of his books as an ever-expanding suburb where people grow farther and farther apart without ever interacting with each other and always being angry with one another. Growing ever farther and farther apart and always being angry and holding on to that anger. Isolation. The darkness is an isolation, being separated one from another. And some people go through those dark nights even now. Those seasons of depression. Those seasons of anger. Those seasons of frustration and feeling lost. We're sure that there's nobody else out there like that. The prophets saw the same thing. Elijah had the same thing. Is there anyone else left? Am I the only one, he asks? And God says, I have kept back thousands. 6,000 have not bowed the knee to Baal. The other sense of darkness is an absence of God. That's the definition of hell. An absence. And when you take God away from it, I've been thinking about this recently as people try to pull away God from everything secular, pulling away from all of our culture. As you pull that away, do you realize what you're pulling away? You're pulling all sense of love. You're pulling all sense of companionship. You're pulling all sense of everything that's right in the world when you pull God away. Selfishness as a culture doesn't work. The strong will survive. There's always somebody stronger. There's always somebody stronger, always somebody who's smarter, always somebody who's quicker. All it takes is time. The absence of all good things, this darkness, this day of the Lord, a time of depression, a time of feeling alone, a time where you don't feel loved. Eschatological despair. Eschatological despair for those people who think that they are where they should be but aren't. Eschatological despair. And that's the question, where are we? Where do we need to be? Where do we need to get? There is an eschatological hope. That eschatological hope is the day of the Lord isn't here yet. There is a hope that there's still time. At the end of A Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge rips open the curtains, opens up the windows, and says, "What day is it? Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. There's still an opportunity. The end hasn't come. There's still an opportunity to right my ways," Ebenezer Scrooge says. To be right to my fellow man. Ebenezer is the very definition of what the people in Amos were doing. It's the very definition of those who feel like what is wrong is right. The way he started out the movie, he thought that he was being right in how he was living. He thought there was nothing wrong with it. But as the movie progresses, he's brought back. He's shown the love. He's shown the hope of Christmas. He's shown what an anticipation of an eschatological hope can be by looking at his eschatological despair. What did his life have to offer? What was to come ahead? And so as we think about that, as we prepare in this time of Advent, we know that for us, our hope is that we have time, and that for many of us, for us, we know that it is a time of eschatological hope, but with our many people in our lives as well, that we know that for them, for them, it's eschatological despair. Because time seems to be ticking. Time seems to be going on. How long can they procrastinate? How long can we procrastinate? But this is the season of hope. We still have a couple weeks before Christmas. We got 2 candles lit, 2 more to go, and then Christmas will be here. And so in that time, we need to continue to prepare our hearts for the coming day of the Lord. Amen.